Howdy, friends. Welcome to Free Range Ted. As you might have guessed, I am Ted, and about 6 months ago, I set off on a little journey. I grew up in the Deep South. Spent my first 20 plus years living somewhere in the Deep South, and that means basically at every turn there is delicious food to eat. Because man, there's some cooks there. But one of those foods that everybody seemed to love except for me was grits. I thought grits were disgusting. Never met a grit that I liked. And people were like, oh, you got to cook them with butter. Oh, you got to put cheese in it. Oh, you got to top them with sugar and cinnamon. I mean, everybody had their own ideas about how to make grits taste good. And I tried all those ways because I thought all of those things make sense. They're gross. They were gross. And side note, like, grits have a marketing problem. Like, seriously, they're called grits. That's not appetizing. That doesn't make you think of like something that you want to put in your mouth. It's grits. If Uncle Roger tasted grits, like just plain unseasoned grits, he would definitely give it a hi-ya in that really disappointed, disapproving tone that he's known for. Am I right, Uncle Roger? Can I get a hi-ya on that? So about 6 months ago, I decided, you know what? I've never cooked them. So I think I can make them in a way that I would like them, and so that they didn't taste like eating glue, which is how I felt about it. So I set off on this journey to do it right. Not do it right. I set off on this journey to make them better for me. And you know what? I did it. I made grits good, y'all. Now, some of you would say grits were already good, and I just somehow in 20 plus years of trying to eat them managed to never get a good one. I would say that grits aren't great, and you got to do some stuff to make them great. So today I'm going to share a recipe that I made with grits, and I might do a video later on that gets into more of the kind of thought behind how to make grits better, how I thought about it to make grits better. So this video is really just a dish with grits and meatloaf. Another thing that I grew up not really caring for. The Deep South thing, people love the meatloaf and love the grits. And so I decided to try and figure out both of them and combine them into one dish. And that's what I've got for you today. So let's get started. We're going to start off by bringing some milk to a boil. I will put the exact amounts and the full recipe in the description. You also need to season the milk. I'm going to use this tomato chicken bouillon, but you can certainly use whatever you like. I usually just eyeball this. I never measure it. And honestly, this time in this batch, I didn't use quite enough. It came out just a little bit bland, and I had to adjust the seasoning in the end. Now add some coarse ground black pepper. I like to use the coarse ground because the peppery bite that it provides is really nice. Plus, the little flakes of black pepper in the grits look nice. I like it. Give that a quick whisk to make sure that everything is combined and dissolved. When you see those rapid bubbles start to form, you know it's time to drop those grits in. Today I'm using 5-minute grits. I never, ever use instant grits. Sometimes I use the full cooked grits. I forget what those are called. But today I'm using the 5-minute ones. They work really great for this recipe. But it is important for you to whisk constantly during that 5 minutes. Your hand will get tired. Your elbow will get tired. You will cry for your mommy. All of that is worth it in the end. Do not stop whisking the entire 5 minutes. Whisking is what helps provide that creamy texture that you are shooting for. 5 minutes later. Now give your hand a 3-second rest while you dump in the cheese, and then get back to whisking. If you've done it right, you should be left with a nice bowl of creamy goodness that is ready to be topped with some meat. This is also a great time to adjust your seasoning if you need to. Today I'm topping this with meatloaf. Why meatloaf, you ask? Well, it's because I had meatloaf. I was just making some and thought it would be great on grits. Turns out I was right. The sweet glaze that's on the meatloaf really works well with those savory grits. It's a nice pairing, but you could use whatever sort of protein or vegetable that you like. Grits make a perfect backdrop for just about any food.